this is Britt Caswell with another example video. In today's video, I'm covering example 4 from section 7-2 in the SavvasRealize Algebra 1 textbook. The goal of today's video is to multiply together a trinomial and a binomial. Alright, so tri meaning 3 terms and bi meaning 2 terms. So in part A, what they're doing is they're talking about using a table to find this product. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to do it using that box method. Alright, so here's my little table I'm setting up. So my trinomial, I'm writing it here across the top. And then my binomial, I'm writing down the side here. And then I'm just going to go ahead and multiply, right? So I'm finding the area of each of these squares. So 3x times x squared is 3x cubed. 3x times 2x is 6x squared. And 3x times negative 1 is negative 3x. And then here I'm going to go ahead and do it with the 4. So 4 times x squared is 4x squared. 4 times 2x is 8x, and 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. And so once you've found the area of each of these boxes, now you can go ahead and collect your like terms. And most of the time, unless you're missing a term here, like if it doesn't have a linear term or something, you can have this nice little diagonal stratification so you can add your like terms. So I have 3x cubed, 4x squared, and 6x squared is 10x squared. 8x and negative 3x is positive 5x, and then a minus 4. So that's really nice with the box method. Now Savvas is kind of interesting. They gave us this opinion of multiplying these things like a 2-digit number. And so I haven't actually seen somebody lay it out like this, but it's very similar to how I multiply, which was kind of cool. So remember, when you multiply normal numbers, right, you start by taking the 4 and you multiply it to each term. And then you leave like a spacer, right, because you don't want it to be in that ones place anymore. And then you would take that 2 and times it to each term. And then you add down. So multiplying a trinomial and a binomial works that same way. See? So they're taking the 4 and they times it across. And then where they would normally leave a spacer, they just didn't put anything. And that's because, right, 2x times 2 is going to get you a linear term. And then they lined it up. And so this has it nice and lined up for when you go to multiply. So I thought that was kind of neat. I kind of like that layout because it's something that's familiar. But I just distribute. I just do this kind of bottom part and don't rewrite it in the stacked method. So let's go ahead and let's try that. All right. So I'm going to start with this 2x and I'm multiplying it to each term in the trinomial. So 2x times negative 3x squared is negative 6x cubed. 2x times 4x is 8x squared. And negative 5 times negative 7 is a positive. Oh, what am I doing with the 5s? Woo, Miss C. Y'all, this is why I circle. Make sure you don't make any goofs. So 2x times negative 7 is negative 14x. So another way that I noticed right away that I made that mistake, other than I was like, where did 5 come from? I saw I had a 3, a 2, and I knew this had to be a linear term. But when I was multiplying 5 and 7, I got 35, which wasn't linear. So that's how I knew I was kind of making a mistake mid-problem and could fix myself. So now that I got overly excited with the green, now I'm going to do it with the red with the negative 5. All right. So negative 5 times negative 3x squared is a positive 15x squared. Negative 5 times 4x is negative 20x. And negative 5 times 7 is that positive 35 I was finding earlier. And now I add down. So here we go. So I have a negative 6x cubed. 8x squared and 15x squared is 23x squared. Negative 14x and negative 20x makes for a negative 34x, and then that 35 comes down. So see, there's different ways to kind of check and make sure you're not making mistakes as you go through things, right? Little check steps in the middle help to make sure that your final answer is good to go. So again, I'm going to distribute. Now notice here on this one for part B, there's no linear term, so it goes straight from squared to a constant. And so what you're going to see when I go to write this out is there's going to be gaps in my layout when I go to write it out. You'd see that in the box method as well. So here we go. Negative 3x squared times each one. Negative 3x squared and 2x squared is negative 6x to the fourth. Negative 3x squared and 3x makes for negative 9x cubed. And negative 3x squared and negative 4 makes for a positive 12x squared. So there aren't any gaps yet. So here's where the gap is going to lie. When I go to multiply by 1, this first term, 1 times 2x squared, is 2x squared. So you can see that instead of just shifting 1 over like I normally do, I had to shift 2 over. Okay? And then 1 times 3x is 3x, and 1 times negative 4 is negative 4. And then we add it all down. So now this is going to have a lot of terms at the end, isn't it? We have 5 columns. So my negative 6x to the fourth, not squared, comes down. My negative 9x cubed comes down. 12x squared and 2x squared is 14x squared. And then I have my 3x and my negative 4. So there we have it, y'all. That is how to multiply together a binomial and a trinomial. Until next time.